in a simple roll of the dice. And I mean a really simple roll of the dice. You can make a friend or an enemy. You could become the hero or the villain. The fate of your success or failure, or even all of the cosmos, is bonded and dependent on that roll of the dice. I welcome to anyone who may be listening, if anyone is still listening out there. This is Audio Boy SE, and I am your humble host, No One. For today, I want to talk about something that's very important to many people's childhoods. I want to talk about the classic game of Dungeons and Dragons. What can be said about that classic game of Dungeons and Dragons that hasn't been said before? I can talk about the bogus religious attacks against Dungeons and Dragons. I can talk about how people like McCree, Matt Mercer, has helped bring more people to the hobby, and how before we were considered the very trolls we were fighting against living in under the basement now can be considered something cool with the aid of people like Will Wheaton. But no, that's been done to death. I want to talk about my personal relationship with the game. And just like anime and other edgy animated projects or films helped molded me into the super cosmic magic being that you hear in front of you right now. Just remember there, kids, Dungeons and Dragons can also be your anti-drug. Ha 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 ha! Sadness. Don't forget to buy the merchandise. I've been rambling for too long, so let's get back to the point. My personal connection with the game started when I was a wee little lad. Apparently Irish too. And I was in the game shop. Because back then, which I assume things have changed now in the mall, there wasn't much for people like me. A little nerdy and into collectibles. There was just clothes, and clothes. And cinnamon buns. Wonder if they still got those. Oh, I'm losing track again. So, like I said, I was a little kid in these game shops, looking at these books. And of course, the salesman was trying to sell the game to me. And how he explained it was, you can live an adventure inside these games. To a little kid like me, that was way different. Because usually game nights consist of Monopoly, Sorry, all of the stuff I talked about in the last Audio Boy episode. Please watch and subscribe. You don't have to because you have free will, but it would be kind of nice. So just do whatever you want. I'll be okay with it. Sadly, my mom didn't buy these books, and maybe with good reason. I don't know what would happen to them. I was still very, very, very young. And I did make more use of the magical action figures that I had as a child. And strangely enough, that's also like playing Dungeons & Dragons. So, who needs dice when you have the mind? The reason why I felt mom didn't buy the books besides the expensive price was because my mom was religious. We are in a religious family. And, the rumors of the dark, evil game of Dungeons and Dragons is corrupting all the children's minds. Why is no one thinking of the children? But watching an anime with robo-boobs or even mountains and mountains of gore is perfectly fine. Double standards. I love them. It wasn't until around recently that my parents led off about Dungeons and Dragons because they were worried about it in high school. But I wanted to convince my brother to join me, and when they saw the PAX video of all the PAX guys, plus Will Wheaton, dressed in their really fun costumes, they realized these were the guys we were afraid of? It's okay, you guys can play now. Yay! But like I said, when I was growing up, I didn't get much of it. The only other time as a child when I heard Dungeons & Dragons was when I watched the Dexter's Laboratory and they had the episode about Dungeons & Dragons, and those memories came back. It's like, oh my god, this is awesome. This is what the guy was talking about trying to sell me the books? I know Dexter was a horrible DM and he wasn't getting it, but I liked how Dee Dee did the story, and heck yeah, I want to play something like that. So when my friends in high school were trying to form a D&D club, we were like, heck yeah, let's do it. I was the vice president. Nothing gets nerdier than that. Take that, nerd posers. Speaking about nerdiness, I was also in the chess club, the creative writing club, and the other clubs. But the club I always will remember is being the vice president of the Dungeons & Dragons Club. Heck yeah. And I was a DM for several sessions, because we had multiple sessions and one of the tables was my table. I really didn't get how 2.0 worked. And what makes me happy now is a lot of the tactics and strategies that are now considered popular are now something I formed back in the old days. So that means Matt Mercer's copying me. I don't care what you guys say. We can so fight about it, but I'm gonna win it. Back to the point. What I mean is when I played, yeah, the various sessions we did were more dungeon crawls. Now, dungeon crawls is kind of like playing a Zelda level, but there's no code, so you have to explain every tiny, minute thing, which works in a video game, and that's part of a video game's strength. However, if you try the same thing in paper and pencil, for a person like me that wanted more of the exploration, the story, and all that kind of stuff, didn't work really well. So the tactic I use, because I was also in theater, gotta use every type of school tactic to become the godfather of the Western anime. Going to happen. Haters be hating. So I use that tool in my belt to make very interesting NPCs. And because of those NPCs were interesting, people react to them better. It wasn't like just kill, kill. It was, oh fair princess, I've traveled the land to be able to meet you, and I want you to love me, and only me! So I made sure there was a reason why they wanted to save the princess. Of course, that made the sleepover D&D sessions kind of weird. I had to make a pillow fort. Yet that style of D&D really lasted to all of my college years when we would play with our friends. My only two gripes during these years of D&D were, one, I'm not sure if my system was taken seriously. Because like I said, I use a lot of NPCs, a lot more explorative play, and a lot of people joke that my style of D&D was kind of weird. When most people think about Dungeons & Dragons, they think of a token Middle-earth-like world, with orcs, humans, goblins, and a medieval town like Waterdeep, Neverwinter, Forgotten Realms. I know most people won't know what those places are, so those people, use the Lord of the Rings movies. That would be a very good place to help you understand how most people see it. Now for my world though, my universe, let's use my little brother as an example. He's in the room with me, and I'm going to ask him a very important question. Hello there, Darth Pudgy. When you think of Dungeons & Dragons, what comes to your mind?
Alright, so what I think is it's all f***ing bullshit, alright? This shit is so much f***ing it pisses me off, alright? I got a story to tell you guys. It's so... It makes me mad, basically, that they think this is my fault. So just tell me in the comments what you think this is, alright? So, what happened is I was a rogue. There was a pony involved in this whatever the hell you want to call this shit. Alright, so I was a rogue and I saw a car. Now our car was broken down, so we had no transportation anywhere. So I was like, alright, it. I'm gonna steal this car. So I told the DM, I'm stealing this car, I'm rolling for stealth. I roll a f***ing 20, alright? A 20. He doesn't tell me it's the mayor's car. He doesn't tell me, he only tells me it appears that no one's watching, alright? Remember that word, appears. So, a few minutes go by and he says, alright, there's two police officers going down the road. The pony, named Rainbow Sparkle, starts freaking out and he's like, what do I do? So, he put the two police officers to sleep. When he did that, they swerved off the road and hit a water tower. Now, this water tower fell down, and he started this, I don't know how to call it, but he started something. And then kind of a few minutes go by, and I'm killing cops, I'm cursing at them, and then all this stuff. So I kill a cop, I kill a cop, and I kind of steal everything, stuff like that, you know, what the usual thing. I steal the car too. So I know where my other partners are. There was like a monk, and there was also a paladin or whatever, or a medic. So I knew where they were, so I was going to them, right? So as I went to them, the road was closed for some reason, so I went on the sidewalk. Again, me being me, there was another police officer. He started shooting at me, so I started swerving. And there was a grandma in front of me. So he told me to roll. I rolled a f***ing 17. Alright, that's high. And he said I ran over the woman. I had to stop, make sure the woman was okay, put her in the back of my police car, and start looking for the other people. So what ended up happening is that this monk turned into the Kool-Aid man, and he kind of grabbed the car, and he thought I was a police officer, so he was like, F you, and threw it. And I nearly died. The grandma was okay though, she was perfectly fine. At least until I jumped out of the car and the car kind of exploded. So I mean, there's that, you know. So then there was cops. I got tased. I started cursing at him because it was just all the pony's fault. We go to jail. As you know, they do the full body strip, right? I kind of was scared that my weapons were gonna get taken away, so I kind of hid my weapons up my ass. And they checked, and it was very painful. And I lost all my weapons. So we went to jail, and then me and the pony are arguing, right? They're like, no, it was your fault. No, it was your fault. No, you, it was your fault, right? The rogue hits the pony, and says it was my fault. Even though I rolled a 20, he said it appears no one was watching. Alright, so I thought everything was okay. So then after that, we do this mission, whatever, and we succeed. So after the game, this is when he tells us it's the mayor's car. There were people watching. The cops' cars were looking for us. Well, not looking for us, they were looking for the car. And he told me all this information after the show, or after the game. Not when I rolled a f***ing 20. You know the 20-sided dice? Yeah, that thing landed on the 20. That's a perfect score. And he decided not to do shit about it and tell me one thing, alright? It was so much bullshit. And then they're all saying it is my fault. Even though it was technically the ponies and the DM's fault, alright? That's just a take on me. I don't know what the hell else to do. So just tell me in the comments, who do you think it was? Cause they still say it was me, I still say it was a pony. Just please tell me, I beg of you.
Do you kiss mom with that mouth?
Yeah.
My brother is the devil. Now, you're trying to make yourself look like the hero. Explain about your phone call.
Oh, the phone call. So this is basically the DM's fault too. I had nothing to do with this. So you know how in jail, you have your own little phone call that you get. I was like, alright, I want to get a phone call. He was like, no, you. I was like, no, you, I'm rolling for it. I rolled a 20. Of course, because I'm the 20 master, right? So what happened was that I went my phone call. I called my brother, which apparently didn't exist. But you know what? I create my own life, alright? He doesn't know shit about me. So I call him and everything. He says he can't bail me out. I'm like, okay. So what happened is that I kind of escaped jail, and I got caught and I got put back in the jail. And then the warden, whatever, had a mission for us or whatever. He's like, oh, cool, whatever. So we were in the mission, right? I find out that my brother was actually a girl and was I wonder if you guys have ever seen what's Steven Universe? You know that big thing when like amethyst, pearl, and garnet go together? You know that thing? Yeah, that's what it was at the end. It was all that, right? And we had this other kid join in the middle. His name was Robert or some like that. I don't know. So he was apparently the smart kid, right? I'm like, oh, okay, cool. He's smart. He can able to defeat this, right? He told us that we had to hit him in the kneecaps. I was like, oh, okay, that's easy, right? So I pull out my gun and I shoot him 4 times, right? Nothing happens, all right? So yeah. Oh, and also when this is happening, he teleports me into this house, and I got teleported into the shower when there was a girl showering. So I kind of got slapped a couple times, you know, the usual. So then he later tells us that we could have killed him in the heart right then and there, but now we have to use a cannon to kill my favorite character, the pony, alright? I got so pissed at him, I didn't even care anymore. I wanted to kill his alright? So what happened was that the pony dies. He's now a star, which at least he's getting recognized. The whole world blows up. At least the whole town or whatever with the nuclear bomb. I don't know what the it is. I go back in the house. I get stopped again. I don't know how the that works. I get my reward. I get my guns back. I leave, and that's kind of the end of that. And I find out that she was a girl, and my parents didn't love me. So they kind of made him into a boy to be the son they never had, basically. So
okay, that's enough.
Tell me in the comments.
I'm sorry. I was trying to make this video less than 20 minutes. That's not going to happen. As you can see, none of the tropes that as you consider D&D was D&D in my universe. And that's how I feel D&D should be. When most people think of it, they think of orcs and elves, but he thought of hamster people and ponies and Grand Theft Auto and this chaotic world of Steven Universe, and that's what D&D needs to be. And trust me, that's just the surface he's scratching our magical adventures. It's actually kind of sad because he doesn't mention he tried to sell that pony. He tried to sell that pony to a bunch of pedophiles. Not just any pedophiles. Pedophiles with a pony fetish. My brother will become the next monster. You guys think I complain how evil Trump is? Trust me, Trump will look like Mother Teresa compared to the monster my brother will become. I fear for America. Back to the point. Like I said, my gripe is when people think my world isn't good or interesting or useful because it doesn't follow the tropes of a traditional D&D world. That's sad to me, because which leads to my other gripe, rule lawyers. The reason why I like playing with kids, and no matter how much of a monster my little brother will become, read in the comments below please, I hate it that he's becoming more of a YouTuber every day, is kids want to play. That's all they care about. They want to live in that imaginary world and play. It's one of the things when certain DMs and certain rule lawyer style players forget. They forget that magical word, play. And because of that, they forget that you need more people like kids to join the community, to be crazy, to be a pony. And not just any pony, the pony of all ponies, to name him Rainbow Sparkle, to give him magical wings, to give him a horn, which I believe is called an alicorn, do correct me if I'm wrong, you know, bronies, and to make it that he uses the power of friendship with his spells to be able to save the day. And because of that, we have one more person in the hobby. And trust me, I allow way more weird stuff. I can even tell you that we have a cyborg barbarian that has a scanner, and since he's a barbarian, he can't read, so he can't read the stats. Why? Why couldn't he read? That was a mistake on my part. But because of that mistake, we had an after-school special style session of him trying to learn to read. And these are the things that I feel the hobby needs. That way it's more accepted in the world and we don't have these religious groups hating on the hobby. And we could use it as a foundation for people to come together as a group and just have some fun and to work that imagination. I'm a very creative person, I hope you can tell. But it feels very alienating being that type of creative person, being with people that feel that this is all just kid stuff and not understand the benefits of being that creative person and being with people that embrace that creativity. Because sometimes what we do as a species is make moments like that not important. And we go to our 9-to-5 jobs and work and work and work. And the only way to unwind is to go to a bar, drink a beer, and watch sports. That's cool for a lot of people, and that I get. But for a person like me, that's mind-numbing. And I don't like it that sometimes that a person like me will be made fun of because I'm not doing the norm. So the only thing we can do is to make D&D become the norm. And the only way for that to happen is for certain DMs to allow more weird things into their worlds. That way, it could be used as a good introductory point to get people into that world and to get people to just have fun and play. And with that play, form a couple of friendships that may last a lifetime. This gets me thinking about another hobby which has almost that same feeling. And ironically enough, I know I haven't talked about it, touches on my aspect of D&D. So, let's save that for next time. But for now, this is No One signing out.